Hello, I am Future Zash, and I have returned to this time to fix my disappointments with my first attempts at reading a visual novel. Also, I have brought Faith with me, so we can continue. So, please enjoy.
Hey you, can you see us? Why don't you answer? I'm asking you a question. Yes, you, on the other side of the monitor. Humph, your silence only strengthens my hypothesis. I suppose that from your perspective, it appears that we are the ones inside the monitor. But that's where you're wrong. For it is you who are inside. Your reality is nothing but lies and shadows. Naturally, that includes you, too. True reality is on this side of the screen. Don't believe me? I don't blame you. Few are those who can handle the truth. But no matter. I shall speak in simpler terms, easy enough for even you to understand. This is the Future Gadget Laboratory, located in Akihabara district of Tokyo. We call it simply the lab. Our purpose is to shatter the system and plunge the world into chaos. Really? You shouldn't do bad things, Okarin. Quiet. I'm a mad scientist, remember? From the station, head down Chuodori, and you will reach Soricho Station. Then take a left onto Kuramabashi-dori. In the alley before the traffic light, you'll find the rundown Ohiyama building. The lab is on the second floor. On the first floor is a store of ill repute called the Brawn Tube Workshop. You can't miss it. It deals exclusively in CRT monitors, of all things. Can you imagine? Even in the heart of Akihabara's electric town, the demand for CRTs is practically non-existent. But the proprietor of the Brontube Workshop, Tanoshi, is also the owner of the building. That's how he can afford to maintain his ridiculously niche hobby shop, even as land value continues to rise. He may seem a rough sort, but he was no match for my charisma. Now the entire second floor is mine for next to nothing. I digress. The Future Gadget Laboratory is currently experiencing a severe shortage of manpower. We welcome dedicated scientists from all fields to apply. At present, our researchers are... Okarin, you gotta say lab mems, not researchers. Our lab mems, laboratory members, are 3. I am the founder of the Future Gadget Lab, Lab Mem number 001, the insane mad scientist, Hoien Kyoma. Okarin is cuter, though. Next, we have our resident cosplayer and only female member, Lab Mem number 002, Sheena Mayuri. Tuturu, call me Mayushi. I like making costumes more than wearing them. And last, we have our resident super hacker, Lab Mem number 003, Hashida Itaru. Stop calling me that. It's Super Hacker. Duh. Here, at the Future Gadget Laboratory, we devote ourselves to the art of invention. For details, see our lab's homepage. Our top priority, of course, is to develop weapons for the war on the Dark Dominion, but that research has spawned a number of offshoot inventions. In fact, that's all it spawned. Our arsenal of future gadgets is up to 8, but this is just the beginning. I have a total of 108 inventions to create. Like in that tennis manga, right? I get it. No! It's the number of earthly desires in mortals, you at-channel junkie. And I thought I told you not to interrupt me when I'm talking. Yeah, wouldn't want to interrupt you talking to yourself. I'm not talking to myself. Can't you see? I'm talking to the person behind the monitor. Ah, he just grinned. What are you grinning about, damn you? You don't even exist outside that monitor. Just say, don't look at me. I don't think that's gonna work. It appears our attempts to communicate have failed. It's sad to see someone so deeply in denial of reality. Maybe they think we're in the game. I doubt it's even occurred to them. But aren't your 2D girlfriends the same way? That's different. Those girls are my wives. Nobody cares about your harem. But Miyushi touched upon a very interesting theme, you know? What if we're actually just characters in a game? Any way we can know for sure? No. Come on! Such questions are meaningless. Our time is better spent thinking of ways to destroy the system. Nice chunibyo, bro. I step back from the monitor. Displayed on the screen is the ugly cute character Opaka Man. This is a game called Opaka Man 2, where you speak to Opaka Man via microphone and watch him react. The game exploded in popularity when it was released 10 years ago, but personally, I find only the ugly part of ugly cute to be true. I bought it yesterday, 500 yen used, headset included. I turn to Daru with a menacing glare. Shut it, Haka. I'm no Chinubiyo patient. I sweep my hair back and flash a devilish grin. I am Hoyin Kyoma! That's your character's name, right? Oh, Daru. Your communication skills are beyond repair. I'll have you know I go to a ton of offline meets, and I'm always the life of the party. This fat, bespectacled guy is my brother-in-arms and right-hand man, Hashira Itaru, nickname Daru. He's a hardcore otaku. You can always find him in front of the computer, playing games and watching anime. He has 2D wives on whom he cheats with 3D maids. I don't agree with his preferences, but to him, anything's fine as long as it's moe. He's the reliable and skilled partner who brings my ideas to fruition. Despite his insistence that software is his forte, he shows remarkable aptitude with hardware as well. Ow! The needle bit my finger! Over here, nursing a pricked finger, we have Shina Mayuri, a 16-year-old high school student, if you can believe it. I've known her since we were both small. She's also an otaku, nowhere near Daru's level though. This ditzy girl is in charge of the lab's official costume division, for women, and today she's working on a costume at her usual leisurely pace. Why does the future gadget laboratory need costumes for women? It doesn't. The truth is that Mayuri is completely useless. Still, there's no way I would ever kick her out. After all, she was the first one to join the Future Gadget Laboratory. I still remember the day Mayuri first came to the lab. It was spring. She said to me, "Miyushi is Okurin's hostage! I belong here!" Well, that certainly was cryptic. But her offer was my salvation. For she was the first to join me on my magnificent quest. She saved me from a solitary life on the run from the organization. I will never forget her kindness. Mayuri doesn't have to be useful. Her being here is enough.
So, did Opaka Man say anything?
Nope, nothing. The human-faced alpaca inside the monitor was completely unresponsive. So unresponsive, you'd think the game was bugged. Whatever, I give up. Never again will I play this boring game. Damn antisocial alpaca. I curse his name and smack the TV. As soon as I do... The TV makes a sound like it's shorted, and then the screen goes blank. I change the channel. Nothing. Check the power cable. Nothing. Whack it again. Nothing. I guess it's broken. Damn. This crummy TV is on lease from the Brontube workshop downstairs. It's probably just old. You made Mr. Alpaca angry! Damn. I'll have to get it repaired later. I turn off the TV and lay down on the couch. I'm fed up with the humidity of Japanese summers. I stare at a conspicuous stain on the ceiling while fanning myself. I close my eyes. And what naturally comes to mind is that impossible scene I saw an hour ago. They're gone. As I left Radio Kaikan, everyone vanished before my eyes. I can't explain it. And it wasn't just the people on the street. The people in the stores, gone. In the restaurants, gone. Even the cars vanished, drivers and all. And it all happened in the blink of an eye. Suddenly, an empty city spread before me. I could still hear the music from the stores, but those catchy melodies were the only sounds of life remaining. Heat was rising from the asphalt in waves, but I felt only a cold chill down my spine. I just stood there, breathless, until... What's wrong? Mayuri's voice brought me back to reality. Mayuri hadn't disappeared. She was right there, looking at me with questioning eyes. Everyone's disappeared, just now, right? Huh? We saw it too, right? Just now, before our very eyes. Panic took hold as the enormity of what had just happened struck me. Unable to control myself, I grabbed at Mayuri's slender shoulders and shook her. Did you see it, Mayuri? You saw it, right? Mayuri's head flopped back and forth from my shaking. I didn't see anything. You didn't? I stopped shaking her and looked straight into her eyes. She returned my gaze with eyes clear as glass marbles. You saw nothing? Nothing at all? There were people here a second ago, weren't there? There were? Even the store employees are gone. That's impossible by any measure. Of course they are. The reply didn't make any sense. It was like this when we got here. Oh, I know. You're seeing things, aren't you? I'm sure it's because of the heat. Doo-doo-doo. How could she laugh at a time like this? I always thought she was a bit strange, but maybe her brain is actually broken. I realized that she couldn't help me. With nowhere else to turn, I look up at the bright blue sky. There wasn't a cloud in sight. The scorching summer sun shone bright through the gaps between Akiba's buildings. Naturally, my eyes drifted to the top floor of Radio Kaikan, where I had been just a moment before. There it was, an enormous machine, like some kind of satellite, embedded in the roof of the building where not 5 minutes before I had found Makise Kurisu's body in a pool of blood. What happened to her? Just before everyone disappeared, I could have sworn I heard an ambulance siren. Makise Kurisu might still be on that dark narrow passageway, cold, bloody and alone. The thought disturbed me, but the question at the forefront of my mind was, what the hell is that satellite doing there? Right before Dr. Nakabachi's presentation, the building shook like a bomb had exploded. The roof door lock had been broken, and beyond it someone had placed a satellite-like machine, shrouded in smoke and glowing dust. When I first saw it, the satellite was on the rooftop. But that's not what I was seeing now. This satellite had penetrated the top floor of the building, obliterating the room where Dr. Nakabachi's press conference had been held. It must have fallen out of orbit without burning up in the atmosphere somehow. I knew it was crazy, but what other explanation would there be? The real question was, when did that happen? Mayuri, about that satellite. Yep, what a surprise, huh? What do you mean? What was the surprise? It made a huge kapow sound. A huge kaplow? It certainly did make a sound. But I don't think it was kaplow. I'd say it was more like a zzz. Did that satellite fall out of the sky? Did it? Do you think any aliens were on board? Ellipses. Had I lost my mind? What I had seen didn't match at all what Mayuri was saying. Suddenly, nothing felt real. Had I dreamt it all? Hey, you two! Just then, a uniformed policeman ran up to us, his expression stern. What do you think you're doing here? This area is off limits. You have to leave. We're sorry. First, my good man, let's call you Officer A. I have one question. Officer A? Thousands of people just vanished. You saw it too, didn't you? What are you talking about? Get out of here! I was quickly losing confidence in my own memories. I decided to tell him about Makise Kurisu and get him to call an ambulance, but before I could... Look, I don't have time for your nonsense! The policeman took me by the upper arm and said, No one got stabbed at Radio Kaikan! What? How could he say that with such certainty? While I was still trying to comprehend the situation, the policeman forcefully led us away. We were escorted up to UPX and released. There were people at UPX, like usual. Actually, there were far more people than usual. The place was packed. Just as Officer A said, Chuodori had been blockaded by the police, so nobody could enter. There was nothing we could do, so we headed back to the lab. And that brings us to the present. I'm baffled. Did the whole hour since the beginning of Nakabachi's presentation really happen? I check online for any news. The net is buzzing about the mysterious machine that crashed into Radio Kaikan. All of the major stations in Tokyo, even ToTV, are running special bulletins about it. Fortunately, it doesn't look like anyone was hurt, but Chuodori is still closed off. Akihabara Station is jammed with reporters and curious onlookers. Nobody has mentioned anything about the disappearance of thousands of people from Akihabara's streets, nor about Makise Kurisu's murder. It's all a mystery. A mystery? I see. So that's it! From the sofa, I spring to my feet, a wide grin on my face. Daru and Mayuri turn and stare. This is all an elaborate cover-up by the organization. Their influence has corrupted local law enforcement, which means our entire government may be under their control. My God! But they underestimated me, for I am not so easily played. One day I will expose their deeds and put an end to their reign. Having come to a satisfactory conclusion, I take a celebratory bottle of Dr. P, my favorite soda, from the fridge. The lab has no air conditioning. Ice-cold drinks are essential. Elixir intellectualis, a drink fit for a genius. Cola's better. Okarin really loves his Dr. P. I pity the man who knows not the greatness of this beverage. Mwahahahaha! Step through the curtain dividing its center, and you'll enter the heart of the Future Gadgets Laboratory, the development room. Just as the name implies, this is the room where we develop future gadgets. Needless to say, it's strictly off limits to outsiders. Yes, I know the setup is cheap. I would much rather to have an airlock than a curtain, but our research budget is already scraping the bottom of the barrel. Besides, what's important isn't money, it's ambition. I poked Daru and bid him to follow me into the development room. All of the windows here are weather stripped with packing tape, so it's dim and hot, almost like a sauna. I've been wanting to buy an air conditioner for the lab, but there's no money for that. We're currently accepting donations. Upon entering the development room, I pick up the lab coat that's lazily draped on the chair and put it on. I always wear a lab coat in the development room, for practical reasons as well as symbolic ones. Daru, however, refuses to wear his. Putting it on and taking it off apparently is too much trouble for him. He can't be bothered to do anything that doesn't interest him. It's men like him who give our generation a bad name. His lab coat, purchased from my own pocket money I might add, just sits on the shelf. It's never been worn and probably never will be. Daru, is the plan progressing smoothly? What plan? Daru gives me a blank look. I sigh and turn his attention to the table in the middle of the room. Sitting majestically on the top of the table is the commercial-grade microwave oven. It's significantly larger than newer home models. The plan, as in the plan. Obviously, I'm talking about perfecting gadget number 8. Oh, that. How was I supposed to know what you meant? We've known each other for what, 3 years now? We went to high school together, and now we're going to the same university. We share an inseparable bond, like prison cellmates. He's only been a lab member for 2 months, though. We were in different classes junior year, and actually we didn't talk at all. So, 2 years? Details. The point is, we've known each other for a long time. I expect you to keep up with me here. Nope. Ellipses. Awkward silence. Man, all I wanted to do was have one of those cool cryptic conversations where we talk about plans and preparations and other important sounding stuff. But no one knows what it means except us. Shot down again. So, are we any closer to figuring out what went wrong with gadget number 8? Not yet. So far, the Future Gadget Laboratory has completed a total of 8 inventions. As I explained to Opaka Man, the lab's primary goal is to develop weapons for the war against the Dark Dominion, led by the organization that rules the world from the shadows. At present, we haven't completed any inventions of that sort. On the contrary, we haven't even figured out what we should make. But along the way, we have managed to create some ingenious futurist gadgets as byproducts of our research. It's a fundamental truth of science that great inventions are often created by accident. In other words, serendipity. Allow me to introduce our glorious future gadgets. Gadget number 1, the Bit Particle Gun. Gadget number 2, the Bamboo Helicam. Gadget number 3, could this be Aura Aura? Gadget number 4, Moed Snake. Gadget number 5, once again I've made a worthless object by Goemon. Gadget number 6, the Sialoom Saber. Gadget number 7, Ghost in the Ball. They can all be seen on the website Daru made, so feast your eyes upon the product of a mad scientist genius. Anyway, our current problem is future gadget number 8, the Phone Wave, name subject to change. Phone Wave is a pretty weak name, so I've added name subject to change to the end until we come up with something better. For the record, it was Mayuri's idea, not mine. When a future gadget is completed, the three of us discuss what to name it. I prefer names based on mythology, or names with hidden meanings that need extra explanation to understand. Daru thinks that my naming style is too ridiculous. He just doesn't have a passion for words like I do. Mayuri can't be bothered to remember the difficult names. She says they don't fit in her head. And so, our opinions on gadget names are always split. But I digress. The Phone Wave, name subject to change, is, in short, a remote-controlled microwave. You put food in the microwave before you leave, then on your way back, call the attached cell phone to start the heating process. Voila! Hot food ready for your arrival. So it's basically a piece of junk. A few days ago, however, we discovered that the Phone Wave, name subject to change, has a second, unintended capability. Our brave, or possibly just ditzy, Mayuri had made it her daily routine to heat some frozen fried chicken by remote control. Long story short, she was defrosting her beloved juicy chicken number 1, as usual, when the unexpected happened. The chicken came out more frozen than when she put it in. The microwave refroze the chicken. Since then, Daru and I have been searching for the cause. We tried copying what Mayushi did, but we just can't reproduce the freezing phenomenon. And when we tried to freeze a banana, it turned out really weird. I just don't get it. Daru, now looking completely fed up with the heat, starts fanning himself with his shirt. I know what he means by really weird. Let's see if we can make it happen again. Mayuri! Mayuri! Bring forth the bananas! Are you going to turn them into gel bananas again? That's been bugging me, Mayushi. Can you stop calling them gel bananas? But gel bananas are gel bananas. I take the bananas from Mayuri and stick the whole bunch into the Phone Wave, name subject to change. Why do you have to use the whole bunch? It's a waste of food. Your stinginess could cost us the battle with the organization. That's fine with me. Mayushi always buys the bananas, and now Mayushi can't eat a single one. Next time, we'll only do one banana. But I already had put the whole bunch in, so I ignore her hungry complaints. The Phone Wave, name subject to change, is simple to use. It's a microwave with the phone taped on. The number is already in my address book, so I just need to call the Phone Wave. I'm connected. Hello, this is the Phone Wave, name subject to change. This is the voice of Mayushi Guidance, the system Daru programmed to operate the Phone Wave. Do you hear Miyushi's voice? Be quiet. I'm trying to listen. You can operate the timer from this menu. After pushing the hash button, please enter the heating time in seconds. For example, press hash 60 for 1 minute. For 2 minutes, press hash 120. Entering the command properly will cause the phone wave, name subject to change, to function like a normal microwave. Instead, we're going to deliberately mess up and enter 120 hash. 120 hash. This method was originally a simple mistake on Mayuri's part, but it somehow started the freezing process. The phone wave, name subject to change, comes to life. The turntable begins to rotate. Nice turntable, right? It's even spinning backwards. Backwards? I never noticed that. That might have serious implications. If we look at quantum critical behavior driven by Hund's rule... Yeah, no. Not Hund's rule? No. Okay. The three of us wait and stare at the spinning bananas. After 120 seconds pass, the microwave chimes. Mayuri takes the bananas out. Bananas are ready! The bananas have become not bananas. Gelatinous blobs created with a thin membrane. After Mayuri discovered the phone wave, name subject to change, had a freezing function, he attempted to freeze a bunch of bananas. This is what happened. It just gets more confusing each time. Daru, you wouldn't mind eating one of those, would you? Of course you wouldn't. It's for science! Your sacrifice will forever be remembered. They look really nasty. The taste doesn't matter. What matters is that you eat it. So come on, Daru. No need to be shy. Break a leg, or a stomach, and go for it. No way. Fine. Mayuri, the honor shall be yours. But Jilbanas are all gloopy, droopy, soft, and squishy. Wait, she already tried one? It had no flavor and wasn't tasty at all. Gloopy, droopy, soft, and squishy. Daru, what do you think? Soft and squishy bananas, huh? Soft and squishy banana. Mayushi, can you say your banana's all soft and squishy for me? Daru-kun, your nose is bleeding. Please, just say it. Your banana is all soft and... Don't make her say that, you perv! Daru retreats after I hit him with a tissue box. Mayuri looks at us with an innocent smile. She doesn't get it, obviously. Anyway, they're gelatinous, a semi-solid state of matter. In other words, there is a possibility that intermolecular bonds were weakened. What could have partially liquefied the bananas? I've got it! I turn to the whiteboard and write freezing in the middle. Then I cross it out and slap the board with my hand. What we thought was a freezing function is actually something else! A bold statement, if I do say so myself. So why isn't anyone surprised? Now's the time to shout, what you say? Come on, don't be shy. Their reactions are pathetically weak. Mayuri probably didn't even understand half of what I said. We already knew that. Oh. The problem is, we don't know what it is doing, or why it's doing it. If it's the opposite of freezing, then couldn't it be thawing them? What a silly question, Mayuri. What you're describing is just a normal microwave. Then, what is it?
We don't know, and that's the problem.
Ellipses. He's right. To be honest, I haven't a clue.